Very nice to meet you today.
Hi,
I'm
Ms.
Dr. Sharamonti.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you today?
Good.
Good. I know we talked a little bit on the phone.
Yes.
What brings you here today?
I'm having a tough problem relationship-wise.
Okay, so you're having problems with the relationship?
Yes.
Is it your current relationship?
Current, yes.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, it's very hard to talk about because it's a difficult situation. I don't think a lot of people deal with it or have come across this. I don't know if you've come across this with any other patients. The girl I'm seeing, dating right now, we have an issue with her job, and it's making things difficult for me more so than for her.
Okay, so you're seeing this girl and she has this job and it sometimes gets in the way of your relationship and of you guys moving forward in your
Yes.
relationship?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to talk about her job and what's causing the issue? Do you want to?
I met her at her job, so I know that's obviously where she works.
Okay.
But it's still difficult, I guess, because now that I have feelings for her, now that I love her and care about her, I want to, I don't want her working there anymore. But of course, as she says, I need money to pay my bills, so
Right.
how can I stop working when I have to pay bills and I need money? And
Right.
obviously I'm not financially supporting her, so it's very difficult.
It sounds like it is a difficult situation.
Yes.
You don't want someone you love and care about to just quit their job and not have any money and
Of
then
course.
be on the street or
Right.
trying to find something for money.
Of course.
But you also, why is it tough for you guys to work together?
To work together in a relationship?
To work together at the same job?
Oh, we don't work at the
Oh, it's
same
not the
job.
same
No,
job.
no, no,
Oh,
no.
I'm
I met her
sorry.
at her job, but we don't work
Okay.
together.
Oh, I understand.
No.
You just met her at her job.
Yes.
And you just don't like her job? Is it too demanding? Does she have to work too much and that affects you guys seeing each other?
It's the type of job.
It's the type of job.
Yes, that's the problem.
I understand. So you don't want her doing the type of work she's currently doing. You'd rather her
Correct.
get into a different field?
Yes.
Or is it the job itself where if she did the same
No,
type
no,
of work?
completely different field.
Okay, in a different field.
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
Hmm. And I can't talk about it to anybody because it's embarrassing. When I think to myself about asking a friend for help or family member or anybody to go to, I feel embarrassed to say, my problem because I know ahead of time what people are going to say to me, so I don't
Right.
want to
You don't
talk
want to
about
have that type of reaction on
Exactly.
you and make you feel anything.
it. Right.
Does she like her current job?
She doesn't like it, but she does it for the money. So it's not a like issue, it's that she needs money, so
It's understandable. It's tough when you need money. You
Of
have
course.
to work. Sometimes you can't just say, "Oh, I hate my job. I quit," and leave. You need money to support yourself,
right, exactly.
especially in today's world. It's needed,
True.
and you can't financially support her.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Which that's tough.
Of course.
It's tough to support yourself, let alone
Somebody
if you have
else
children
and their
or
bills, of course.
someone else. It's
So
not
I'm kind
very
of caught
easy.
between a rock and a hard place because if I say, look, I don't want you to work here anymore, I don't like it, you can't do it anymore, or I don't want you to do it anymore, then I come off looking jealous, insecure, possessive, any one of those things
Of
that you can think
course.
of, controlling. And if I say nothing, then I'm sitting here going, I don't want to work in this industry anymore, or this field, or whatever it may
Right.
be. And I'm not saying anything, so I'm kind of not standing up for myself. So I feel very
It's tough.
off balance.
I understand. You don't want to seem like you're jealous and then have her think, "Oh, you're insecure.
Mhm.
He just wants me. He doesn't want me going out or doing work or doing anything,"
Right.
which isn't fair to me. But you also don't want to sit back and say nothing. And now maybe
Right.
she wants you to
Well,
be
I don't, it's not that I don't want her to work. I have no problem.
work in the
with her
field
working-
she's
working in
currently
that-
working.
Yes.
No, I understand.
Yes.
If she went and did something else in a different
Right.
field, you would be okay with that. I mean, the current job she's
Yes.
in.
And she knows, like, I don't like certain, she knows that I don't like where she works, and she knows I'd rather her not work there, but she doesn't know. Like, I haven't, I guess, told her in the degree that I'm talking to you about it as.
Okay, it's understandable. And you think she'd come off that you are being jealous and possessive rather than showing your concern?
Yes. Yeah, especially because of her past.
Okay.
You know, where she's had jealousy from male role models and ex-husband and people like that in her life. So she's
Okay.
seen that jealousy. So of course, if I'm saying something and it may look a little bit jealous, she's going to think, you know, it's
Yeah.
more full blown,
And
you know,
she
real
wouldn't
jealousy.
appreciate that.
Right.
Understand. Have you talked to her about jobs in other fields? Has she
Of
gone
course.
to school at all?
She's going to school right
Okay.
now. So,
Okay, that's good.
you know, working obviously helps pay for school because school's a little expensive.
It is.
Naturally.
It is.
And, you know, if you're going to school 4 days a week or 5 days a week or whatever it may be, that cuts into your work time.
Of course.
So then you
It does.
can't work certain hours because you're going to school.
Right.
So that hurts that aspect. And she's a single mom, so she's got to take care of her kid. So
That's another.
there's certain, now night hours, you kind of can't work certain hours. You can only work certain time frames depending.
Understand.
So there's a lot there. So
Seems like she has a lot going on for her.
yes,
Now, I know she has a lot going on for her, but what's going on with you?
as far as
As how much do you have going on? Like, as you said, she has a job, she's going to school, and she's a single mom, so she has a kid or
Mhm.
more than one kid.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of work for one person.
right.
What about you? How's your work? Are you
I
in
have
school?
work. I have not a normal schedule because I work afternoon to night.
Okay.
So most of my day is taken away in that aspect.
Okay.
So I have work. I have kids at home that live with me. So I have, you know, obligations there to
Right.
make sure they're taken care of and fed and clothed and
Of course,
and
as-
pay my bills like
As
everybody else.
everyone else.
Absolutely. So you know, my plate is full, but it's not full.
It's not as
There's
full
there's
as
more,
her plate?
No,
Okay.
and there's more room for to do things. I guess
Okay.
it's not
I
as
understand what you're saying.
right.
Are your kids older than her kids?
Yes, all my
Her
kids are
kids?
older than hers. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Not that it's an issue.
No, but it's age of kids depends
Yes,
what's going on with
of
you
course,
as well.
of
A
course.
teenager in high school might want to go see his friends. He can be
Right.
home by himself. He might be driving.
True.
Whereas a child in elementary school needs mom or dad to pick him up, to drop him
Absolutely.
off, to make sure someone, either the parent or the babysitter's with them, to make sure everything's lined up for the child because they're younger.
Right. They're not capable of doing it like an older child. So yes, of course.
Exactly. So, what have you talked about with her job wise, like working in other places? I know you said that
course.
there's a tough balance with her.
Yes,
with
of
her
course.
kid
I've
or
talked to
kids
her
and-
and said, I don't like you working here. I'd rather you work somewhere else. And she said, why? And I gave her some reasons, not all of my reasons. You know,
Do you want to discuss some of those reasons, or at least the ones that you've given to
Um,
her?
I felt it's not safe. I felt it's also not good for her mentally. It's
Okay.
also hindering, or it's also it's an issue for the relationship. You know, that's the things I've said to her.
Okay.
You know, and I just left it at that. I don't want to go too much further because I don't want to sound
You didn't want to
jealous.
upset her,
Or, right. I just want to tell her
sound jealous.
real legitimate reasons that I have, but not tell all of them.
Take it a little bit at a time and see how it
Yes.
goes. Maybe in a little bit discuss some of those other reasons with her
Mhm.
in a little bit of time. Let her think about it.
Right,
And
of course.
as you said, she's busy with everything going on with her, so it's not going to be a simple.
Right, of
Solution.
course. Of course.
Just so you know, we are about halfway through our session. I'm not trying to rush you,
No,
but I
that's
don't
fine.
want you to think
No, that's fine.
we're not
Absolutely
talking
fine.
enough or talking too much.
No, we're doing good.
All right. Do you want to discuss some of those other reasons with me that you haven't told her?
As far as why I don't want to work there?
Yes.
Um,
I'm
well,
assuming they're personal reasons.
they're personal reasons, yes. It's going to be pretty obvious once you know what she does for a living.
Right.
She, like I can say it, but it's still like I kind of like hesitate
Yeah.
because
Understand.
it's not the normal, traditional type of relationship that you hear about. You know, you hear about two people, they meet wherever, they fall in love, and the rest is, history, so to speak.
I've
But-
heard of people meeting in different places.
Yes, I
different
have too, and I've done that
situations.
too in the past.
Some of my patients have weird relationships, met in different situations, different circumstances.
I don't know
They're-
if you've met something like this, but you know, it's it seems like this is the type of stuff that I get into for whatever reason.
You always get into these type of relationships? Or-
Not this specific job oriented relationship. It just seems like if something off the beaten path or something weird or something where you go, oh my god, it's usually me, which I can laugh about here, but of
Right.
course when I'm home, like, no,
Yeah, right.
why? Why couldn't it just be perfect?
Things take time. Nothing's perfect.
Oh, I know that, but she yeah she works in an industry that's not looked upon highly, I guess is the
Okay.
best way to put it.
Okay.
So it's just the way it is.
It's a degrading type of.
Yeah,
Job?
I guess she works as a I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. She does, it's a couple of different things, but she does private. She's a stripper.
And she does
But
private
she does
sessions.
private sessions in a room with
With-
one person at a time.
Okay.
So, obviously she's in a room
Right.
with the guy. Sometimes she has returning people.
Right.
Sometimes it's somebody new.
Right.
But she,
As any.
right, so obviously she
stripper would
strips
have.
for the man, and
Right.
whatever happens from there is between them two. Now she
Right.
tells me she doesn't do a lot of stuff
So.
because she doesn't really want to do that. She
Right.
doesn't do it.
So she doesn't have sex with any of the.
That's what she said. First time I saw her, though, she had sex with me. So that makes me pause and go, well, you're telling me you don't do this for everyone, but you did it with me. And so after a while, I finally said to her one day, I said, well, the first time you saw me, you didn't know who I was, and you had sex with me. She goes, well, I liked you.
So she had sex with you the first time she saw you. It
Yes.
says she doesn't have sex with any other clients, but
With-
you're unsure
she said with just about all, she doesn't.
with just about all.
Yeah,
so
she said like
you're-
99% of the time, she doesn't do that.
So,
So I'm like, well, what's the 1%?
Yeah.
That's not just me only.
Yeah, it's-
So that's what made me pause. And so she, we've gone on dates. We've, had time together, spent time together. We both love each other and care about each other. But she won't be my girlfriend until she's completely out of the business, because she doesn't find it fair to me or anyone she would date that she's doing that for a living and they're being loyal and faithful to her. How can she expect somebody to be loyal to her if she's doing that for a living? So at least, she's mature in that aspect.
Right.
But to me, it's still not, it's not, which is a reason obviously why I want her out also.
Right. Because you want a relationship, but
Right.
she
And I want her to myself only,
Right.
naturally, like every other man or woman would want.
naturally. So until she's out of the
Field.
field she's in, she won't date anyone, including you, even if she
Correct.
loves you,
Right,
because she thinks it's not fair.
right.
And you would prefer her not to be in the field and be in a relationship with her.
Of course.
Would you be in a relationship with her? Would you call her your girlfriend if she was still in the field?
No.
No.
I won't date her while she's in the field. No.
So both of you
She
agree
need-
on that aspect.
Yeah, she needs to be out of it, because there's no way I could do that, because
Understandable. Does she love you enough where she does want to get out of the field? I understand she has.
she does want to get out of the field. She said that a number of times to me, but she feels like, but where else am I going to go? And, doing a little research, I can understand their point of view, because, okay, if they work at a Walmart or a
Right.
convenience store or a store like that or whatever, and they're going to make $100 a day before taxes, where they're in this field and they make 500 a day cash, or 1,000 a day cash, or $1,500 a day cash.
It's different.
You could see
It's
which way a
big-
person's going to lean. I mean,
Yeah, it's a big money gap. It's a big money jump
Of
going
course.
from like 100 to 1,000. That's a big
right.
pay.
And if you have
and you don't
bills
wanna-
and the kid or two kids, and it's on
wanna-
you, you're not going to be able to survive on $100.
a day.
But doing that, even if it's only 1 day a week or 2 days a week,
You're still
say it's 1 day a
making-
week and you bring home 1,000,
That's more than
100,
working-
more than a whole week
Yeah.
at a job where you're going to bring home 400, 500. So you could see why, the point of view of anybody in that industry is the money, natural.
Now, what type of jobs have you suggested for her to get into instead of the field she's in?
Well, I talked about going the school that she's going to now. What about taking that and going, into that field? And she said, well, she has to graduate first, so it takes time for her to get through school, graduate, and then find the job.
Right, it's very tough.
So-
You have to.
Right.
You can't get a job unless you graduate.
Of
now,
course.
And until you, so while you're in school, you really
So
can't.
right now, I can't, like if I said work in a doctor's office, again,
it's
$400 a
it's
week.
$10,
Dentist
$12 an hour.
office,
It's not.
500 a week. So to get to that level of money,
Right.
it's kind of hard, you're kind of limited on what you're gonna find without a college degree or some kind of trade background.
Now, have you offered other jobs like, say, bartending? Because bartenders make $300 to $500 a night. So
Yes.
yes, it's not 1,000, it's 500, but that's one night. It's
Yes,
better than
I
$100
have
a
offered her
day.
that, but she says it's hard to do that because you have to work at night
Right.
and she has a child at home, so, how is she gonna, if she gets a babysitter who could stay late into the night,
Right.
that takes some of the money away from the bartending, but is she gonna make the same in bartending as that? And
When does
it's
she?
difficult.
When does she work at her current job? At night? During the day?
She
'Cause
she
usually that
works
fields
she
are
works
late in the night.
in the afternoon and into the evening a bit,
Okay, so it's like a 12 to 8 type
something
of
like
thing?
that, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what about being a waitress?
She's
as
not going to
well?
make the money.
Right.
That's
she's not.
that's. See, I keep coming back there because I know that's what she's going to say to
Right,
me.
it's the
What
money.
about a waitress? I'm not going to make the money. What about a bartender? I'm not going to make the money. I mean, maybe kind of
It's
close.
not going to be $1,000 a day,
Oh, well,
but
a week, yes,
A week.
or whatever.
if she's working one day a week making 1,000, she would have to work, let's say, 2 to 3 days a week to make 1,000. So yeah,
Possibly.
it's more time.
Right.
But all right.
So that's what it's always going to come back to for her. Is I need the money because I have bills.
Right.
So, and then the more I push it, then I'm going to start to hear from her. Well, you met me here. You know this is where I was. It's not like we met somewhere else and all of a sudden I said to her, hey, I do this. Then you're going to
Understandable.
flip.
Understandable. Now, does she get help from the child's parent?
No,
No?
no,
He's not existent in the
Nope.
life?
no.
Okay. So then it is a burden it's all on her. She can't.
Exactly.
Does she get assistance from
She
state or
gets state
federal?
assistance for, not money, but I think for medical insurance.
Okay.
Only. I think that's the
Okay.
only thing she has from the state.
So at least that's a help. That helps knock
Yeah,
out doctors
that helps
and medical
get
bills and
insurance, of
prescriptions,
course.
which is
Big,
big. It's very
especially
much
with a
needed.
kid.
Kids get sick all the time.
Absolutely.
Constantly need doctors to be on them. So what do you feel you want to do talking to her about getting out of the field?
We've talked about it, numerous times. She always says, but she has, what else is she gonna do? Unless I can financially support her and say, listen, you don't have to work anymore. Here's $20,000 to cover your bills for X number to point in time, or here's $1,000 a week or whatever. Here's your rent. Here's your this. Here's your that. Unless I'm doing that, it's going to be difficult for me to say, all right, stop working here. And then if you draw that line in the sand, especially with a woman, if you draw that line in the sand and say, well, it's either the job or it's me,
They go with
they're going with
the job.
the opposite no matter what it is, because
Right.
you corner a woman, they're like, no, that's just how women are,
Right. Understand.
regardless if it's the right option or wrong option for them. Just like giving a woman that hard line is usually wrong.
So you're having this relationship issue with this woman. You don't want her to work in the field she's in. She won't leave because of the money. You two have talked about it. Still not going.
Mm-hmm.
What if you guys talk again? When was the last time you guys did talk about it?
Just yesterday.
Okay. So what if you give it about a month, 4 to 6 weeks, see how it goes, and then bring it up again. But bring up other options or other reasons that
It's-
it
it's,
bothers you, and then see how that goes.
Yeah, I can do
That way, it's not pushing it too far, but
Right,
it's
and
not
that's basically what I've
being-
been doing, is every so often say a little
Okay.
something and just a little bit more to a certain point and kinda, okay, and then I, settle back.
So then maybe take that as a plan, see if that
Yeah.
works. See,
Yeah.
it's another step forward.
Yes, that's what I've been trying to.
Well, it was very nice meeting
It was
you,
nice
Mr.
meeting you
Steele.
too.
Hopefully, we'll see each other soon.
Absolutely, thank you
Have
very
a great
much.
day. Thank
too.
you.
Bye.